Hello, YouTube. It's LaTarsha McDaniel from Know Your Worth Ministries. It is a new year. This is January the 1st, 2017. We are starting a new year, and I am going to bring you a new video in the new year. And I'm going to be talking about when you leave the narcissist. When you need to leave a narcissist, they will come after you. And they're coming after you not because they can't imagine their lives without you or you mean so much to them. They're coming after you because it's a narcissistic injury and it's an insult to their ego. They always feel like they have one up on you. And so for you to leave them is a number one no rule to the game. So therefore, they have to come back and pretty much redeem themselves and show you who's in control. So they will come after you and they would do the hoovering, telling you how much they love you and how much they'll change and be a different person, which is so far from the truth. But they have to up the performance to convince you otherwise so that you won't go on with what you had planned, and that's to leave them and actually exit them out of your life. So they'll come after you, and most of the time what happens is when you love someone, because you have good intentions for the relationship and they don't, so you don't really want to end the relationship, but you don't want to deal with all the madness that goes along with it. But if someone tells you that that'll change, then for the most part we'll find ourselves back in a relationship giving in to that individual. And so that's what happened in my case with my narc. I had moved in with my narc, and prior to that, a series of things were taking place that were not too pleasing to me. But at the time, I didn't know he was a narc, and so therefore, I thought it was just regular relationship problems that could be worked out. But I was wrong, and like I said again, I didn't know that he was a narc at the time. So of course, I moved in with him anyway, and things persisted. They continued to get worse and worse, but I continued to have hope and praying, and nothing would work. He continued to be the individual that he was, making a relationship difficult on purpose. Um, Nothing that I ever did was good enough. Um, and that's because he never had any real intentions of um, having a real relationship with me. It was all a game. I was narcissistic supply for a period of time or for however long it lasted for him. And so I went back to the relationship, and of course, just 2, 3 weeks into the relationship, I kind of started seeing some things, and I was like, I'm not moving back in with you. And in fact, I moved from one town, probably like an hour away from where I lived, to with him. And so I was like, I'm not moving back. I had moved back home with my parents, and I actually had moved in my two daughters with this guy who were both in school, junior high and high school. So I really didn't want to move there in the first place, but I don't know, for some odd reason, you know, narcissists, they want you to alter your life. They want to change your life, and it was like, I really don't want to move, but he's such a good guy. Why would I risk losing such a good guy because I don't want to relocate? And I've always wanted to move, but being a single mother, it was a little fear there. But now that I have this knight in shining armor, why not? Let me go ahead and take the risk. And so I did. And so people, the narcissist will have you to alter your life to accommodate them. And so him to move here, him moving in my location was never his plan. It was all of what he said to convince me is what they do anyway, because it's love bombing. It's the idealization stage. They say whatever you want to hear and do whatever you want them to do to convince you to you know, to pull you into the trap. And so therefore, um, got back with him, and he ended up, because I was so serious, I was so upset by his actions, till he knew that he was about to lose his supply, because I've been through a married for 11 years, a bad divorce, and at this point in my life, there's just not much I feel that could just break me down as far as a relationship go, the way my marriage did. So therefore, I'm like, you're gonna have to bring it, and I'm not moving back there. And if you want me, you're gonna have to move here. So what he did was, ironically, and they would do some pretty drastic things to try to convince you. So he uprooted his life from where he was, um to move down an hour from where he lives to where I live now. And um mind you, he just lost his job. So what he did was, he conned me into signing a lease with him. And I did it because I thought I was in love, and all this kind of stuff. So all of this is going on at the same time, and that's another video about how the narcissist can't function on jobs and stuff like that. And I'll discuss that in another video. So he conned me into signing this lease, and it was all a plan all along. So he moved here. So he knew he wasn't going to have a job, and he was going to have income to pay rent. So why not move down there? This is so convenient for me, and I get to convince her at the same time that I really want to be with her when I really don't. Well, she'll think I will, because this is a pretty drastic move. So he moved down here, got into the apartment, and lo and behold, I'm telling you, 2 3 weeks into it, he began his old ways, and they were like really strong this time. The not texting me back when we would talk, and he said he's gonna call me back, wouldn't call me back. um, just always have an attitude, just always frustrated, and but I noticed with other people, he was always happy. And so that's one of the things you have to do is watch your narcissist, how they interact with other people, and that'll tell you a lot. So he started acting really strange with me. So what ended up happening, people, he got me back, and the reason he was acting strange is because his whole plan is, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to show you. So I got a lot of silent treatment in the relationship with my narc. Um, just a lot of triangulation during that period of time. And then finally, he discarded me. And he discarded me like a week after he had just told me that I love you, and I moved here for you, and we can make it, and let's do right, and I really want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I want to get married to you. And a week later, he discarded me. So people, be careful. This is a harsh game that they play, but it's real. They're out there. This narcissistic behavior and personality is real. So, and I want to just encourage you though to keep your head up. Even in being discarded, God has kept me. He has allowed me to be strong. Um, in another video, I'll discuss how I determined that and realized that he was a narcissist. It was only by the grace of God, guys. And I see a lot of people on the different forums and support groups, and how they're ready to take their lives, and and just don't understand and feel like life can't go on. And I totally understand, and I totally get it. Though I have not suffered those things, I have suffered hurt and pain and rejection and abandonment, but God has kept me. He has kept my heart. And I will tell you that yes, it is hard, but you can get through it. We can get through it with God's presence, with God's love. If nobody loves you, God loves you. God will keep you. He will protect you. And if you put your hands in his hands and you don't turn your head from him, see, I got caught up because I got distracted, guys. I got distracted and I allowed the enemy to distract me and pull me right into his spider's web. And he began to try to attack me. See, when an enemy can't attack your body, he starts trying to attack your mind. And see, God said, no, I still have work for her to do, and I'm not going to let you destroy her. And the same for you. You have a purpose on this earth, and God has a plan for you that has been predestined before you were even born. So I just want to encourage you today. Be encouraged in the Lord. Trust God with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and God will direct your path. He will keep you through this. There's no narcissist, there's no devil, there's no witch, there's no warlock in hell who can take you out if you just trust God. If you just trust God. Because he that's greater in you and me is greater than he that's in the world. Be encouraged, YouTube. Be blessed. Bye.